Hello, folks. My name is Rojo, and recently there's been sort of a renewed discussion about fair use on YouTube and basically how terrible YouTube's system is for content creators. The discussion, as far as I know, was sort of sparked by one nostalgia critic who created a video called Where's the Fair Use? It's about 20 minutes long, and I will put a link to that in the description. I highly recommend you check it out. He does a pretty good job of highlighting a lot of the issues that YouTubers face and a lot of the abuses that people, I guess, take advantage of or enact or do or whatever due to the way the system on YouTube is set up. For my part, I'm not usually into hashtag movements and all that kind of thing. I think they're generally kind of stupid just because they inevitably end up with a bunch of people who are basically parrots in the sense that they're repeating a message that they don't fully understand. But this is an issue that I feel strongly about, and I think that I'm fairly knowledgeable about the subject, as it applies to YouTube, at least, given my my experiences with my channel over the past year or so that I've been doing Let's Plays and other types of gaming content. So what I thought I would do is go ahead and share a couple anecdotes of my experiences with this system. Now, I can promise you that it doesn't matter how big or small you are. I've only got about, at the time of this recording, about 250 subscribers, but I've had DMCA claims ever since I had, less than 100. I've had to deal with this system. I've fought and won every claim that I've gone up against, be it Content ID or a straight up copyright strike. And I've had to deal with this less than 10 times. I've got about 700 videos on the channel now, so I feel maybe a little bit fortunate that I haven't had to deal with it more. But yeah, I've probably had like 7 or something like that about issues that I've had to deal with so far. So out of all these issues, 2 kind of stand out in my mind. The first one is actually my very first claim ever. It was a claim by Nintendo for one of my Hyrule Warriors videos. The claim was for a quote-unquote Super Smash Bros. Invitational sort of web video content. I assume, I looked up the video, I assume it's a video that Nintendo created about the tournament. But here's the thing. The video, as I said, it was a Hyrule Warriors video. It was a Let's Play of one of the battles in the game. Had absolutely nothing to do with Smash Bros. I don't even know if I even mentioned Smash Bros., but it certainly didn't contain any audio or video of the tournament, the Smash Bros. Invitational tournament. This is very clearly a frivolous or at least negligent claim. And I fought this almost from day one. And it started out as a content ID, but progressed as I continued to dispute the claim to an actual copyright strike. They took my video down. And to get it back up, I had to issue a counter notification. Now, that's a little bit of a risky move. You have to believe, well, it isn't a risky move. You have to believe that you're correct, that you have a legal, I guess, standing, or that you're correct from a legal standpoint to want to do a counter notification, because it basically tells the company that they must sue you to have the video remain down. Otherwise, the video goes back up. Now, the reason it's risky is because, yes, you do open yourself up to being sued, but it's also not risky because nobody, as far as I know, has ever gone to court for this. At least, not to my knowledge. It could have happened at some point, but certainly nobody my size. Nintendo's not going to come after me for all of the tens of dollars I've made on my YouTube channel and pennies that I've made on that video. So in that sense, it's not, as much of a risk, and I felt pretty confident going into it. But the catch is that they have a certain amount of time to respond. And I had another series going. I was doing my Legend of Grimrock 2 series at the time, and it hurt my ability to create videos for that series because normally the videos were about 20 minutes long, sometimes a little longer. And YouTube restricted my ability to upload videos of a certain length because I had a copyright strike. And so I couldn't upload videos that were longer than 15 minutes for a while. Very frustrating situation. But eventually, Nintendo kind of let it time out, and I heard back from YouTube, and this was a nice touch on a shit Sunday, I thought. The response I got from YouTube was entirely in Japanese, so I couldn't read it. I mean, I knew the video had gone back up just from looking at my account and, seeing that my features had been restored and everything. And I put it into Google Translate and basically said, you're fine. I guess, functionally is the sentiment there. But it kind of brought to light to me how little YouTube seemed at the time, at least, to give a shit about the content creators, the people who they are literally in existence to serve. It's a service. I don't mean that in a I'm better than you must serve me kind of thing. I mean, in the sense that it's literally a service, YouTube. So, we as the content creators or anybody, they have a certain, you would think, vested interest in protecting us and in general keeping us relatively happy when they can. The other thing I want to point out is that that video that I mentioned, the Hyrule Warriors video, is no longer on the channel. The reason for that is slightly related to the copyright strike system, but it's also related to Nintendo's Creators Program, which I did another video about when it came out. And so because of those two things kind of combined, I decided to remove all of Nintendo, all the videos that feature Nintendo's games from my channel, at least until things have changed significantly, which maybe never. But so that's the first instance that I ever had to deal with a copyright strike. Not a great experience, I can tell you, especially since my channel was very young at the time. And to some extent, I suppose it still is, but we're talking months instead of being in for over a year now. But let's go over the second equally egregious copyright strike that I got. So this the second instance. I was doing a series on a game called Ironcast, and I had titled one of the videos "Saved by the Bell." Now, immediately, like within a couple days, I think it was even, I got a claim and not even like a content ID, like an immediate copyright strike, immediate takedown, no foreplay, none of the fun stuff, no bullshit. They just straight up took it down, and the claim was from I think the U.S. distributor of the TV show who claimed to own the rights to the title Saved by the Bell. And there was some really short message, which was like, we own the copyright to Saved by the Bell. This is illegal. And I'm paraphrasing that a little, but it was literally like that short. And frankly, that's stupid. The reason this stands out in my mind is because that's not even copyright infringement. I mean, aside from the fact that you could look at the thumbnail, look at the video, and know that there's nothing about the show, using the word Saved by the Bell could not be copyright infringement because copyright doesn't protect that. It would be, at best, trademark infringement, which you cannot use the copyright takedown system to protect. You can't use that to protect your trademark, as far as I know, anyway. So, as you can imagine, I was infuriated by this, and I tried to firmly but cordially respond to the email that was provided in the takedown notice. However, to my surprise, that email didn't even work at all. To contact these people, I had to do two things. One, I got a little bit clever, changed the domain from .co.uk on the email to .com, and that actually went through to the right person. That was kind of a shot in the dark. But I also tracked down the company on the internet and got their phone number and called these people to sort of express my my indignity at the situation. They were actually surprisingly easy to deal with, which I can appreciate. But I learned as I spoke to the man at the company that they have someone whose job it is to literally just come into work every day and issue DMCA takedowns. And that person clearly does not know what the fuck they are doing, which is infuriating. So I was so mad. Yeah, I was privately mad, I guess would be the way to put it. I didn't, take it out on that one guy. It probably doesn't even have anything to do with him. There'd be no point. But that issue got fixed within a couple days, which was nicer to deal with than with Nintendo, who knows who I would even call Nintendo about it. If I wanted to contact them directly about a copyright strike. But here's the thing. Both of those situations I described are very obvious abuses of YouTube's takedown system. And the biggest frustration that I have about the whole thing is that there's no legal recourse to protect myself. And now this kind of goes beyond even YouTube's thing, but I would have to prove in court that these people were either negligent or malicious, and it would be very expensive to do this for, what amounts to the ability to make a point. I doubt that I would get much in damages from a successful court case. And where was YouTube in all this? There's nobody that I can talk to at YouTube. They don't give a shit about me. There's 100 million other people on YouTube making videos who are, either the same size as my channel or bigger. They don't have time to talk to me about any of this, which is an unfortunate reality of the scale that YouTube is at, but it's no less frustrating. So I think what needs to change here is not only does YouTube need to change, they've sort of gone a step in the right direction. They've started protecting a few select channels who have been frequently abused, I guess I would say. But that's not good enough, frankly. They need to find a way to extend that protection to everybody, because the law applies to everybody. Fair use applies to everybody. We all have the right to exercise fair use to make whatever content it is we're making. So for that to apply to only a few people, it's a start. It's better than it used to be for those people. For the rest of us, it's pretty much exactly the same. So I think, that's certainly one thing we need to do, or YouTube needs to do, really. And then two, we really need a revision of the DMCA. The biggest problem, I think, right now is that there aren't really any repercussions for abusing it. There's no teeth in that law, to the best of my knowledge. So people can make frivolous or negligent claims all day, particularly even negligent claims, even though the law says that they have to consider fair use. There's just no way, as far as I know, to have that mean anything in the real world, especially not in YouTube's world, which is really, I guess, maybe more of a fantasy land than anything else. But yeah, so that's my take on it. Again, I would recommend watching the video by Nostalgia Critic and see what he has to say about it. He's got like I said in the beginning of the video, a nice overview, and I think it's worth your time, especially if you are someone who's interested in not only creating content on YouTube but continuing to watch content on YouTube, because it really affects everybody here, I think, to some extent. And so with that, I have to ask, where is the fair use?